Hey, Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 6, and we are currently in progress killing Dido. She attacked me twice, and I think we can all agree that, like, you get away with one attack. You attack me once, I'm like, okay, fair enough, you made the attempt, all right, cool, we're good. I can appreciate somebody who's a trier. You attack me twice, I'm salting the earth of your empire, your name will be forgotten by history. It's over. Apparently she captured a vulnerable unit. I don't know what the hell she captured. I don't know how I had it. Oh, this was a builder I stole. So we'll go ahead and pillage and then promote with barding. And then we'll continue to smash the city. Actually, no, we're not. We're coming back to do battleship upgrades. And we'll gently poke. Now, battleship upgrades are a big deal because now I can start spamming units. There is a position here that minimizes the damage I take from city shots. And it's there. And the beautiful thing is Matthew Perry should now work with these battleships. Matthew Perry from Friends fame. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves... Well, artillery seems a bit irrelevant now to me. I can't remember if observation balloons work with... I don't think they do. But I think it's time we picked up chemistry. We want our research labs. We got our Gilded Vault in Edmonds. Go, it's a Mia Mario. We'll grab Military Academy. Probably time to flood. No, not quite there yet. Let's go ahead and renew the old friendship with Kublai. Cavalry. Boom, boom. We combine these boys. Having a look at Cavalrylandia, the only thing that we're missing in here is a commercial hub. I will go ahead and switch this tile right there. Grab myself a commercial hub. Boom. And 11 turns from now, do that. I don't think I need quite as many cities working on military. Now that we have battleships, this should be a relatively straightforward and easy war. Our gold at this point is kind of insane. Now, the unfortunate reality is I'm going to start ramping the amount of pollution that I pump due to the way that I'm managing my empire. You're just losing units to me. It seems good to me. How did I lose another unit? I don't understand. Privateer was shot. Okay, I can understand. I don't know how he had vision of the privateer. That's something I'm confused about. How did she have vision of the privateer? Surely you're supposed to be adjacent to the unit to be able to see it. Battleships have 3 range and obliterate. Oh my god, it's over. Thanks for the cities. Jesus. We might hit 400 science this episode. Like very easily, we might hit 400 to 500 science. Absolutely disgusting. Privateer shot the city. Shooting the city doesn't reveal the privateer. I'm 99% sure. Welcome to Obliteration Land. Population U, bruh. Now, we do want to keep producing units, but I need to start gearing my economy towards mass production of gold so that we can sustain harder, because we're starting to hit into negative loyalty stuff from amenities. So there's kind of like there's a little bit of a switch I have to do here just to kind of maintain my position. It's not a very big switch, but it is a switch nonetheless. When's this episode coming out? Probably in a week. There's like a humankind expansion releasing, and those videos might be released before this, so it might be a couple of weeks before you actually see the full series. Let's begin obliterating Ugarit, and I think I'm going to prioritize leveling my battleships, because yes, so let's continue to produce battleships while they're half price. And I have a 15% production boost, so they're actually quite a bit cheaper than half. Perfect. I want to look for easy kills and pillages and stuff like that. So there's a pillage there. Good job. Managed to sneak a caravel through so I can start doing a bit of pillaging on this side. Doesn't the city center have 2 vision by default? That's dumb, if it's true. Completely unintuitive, never explained anywhere. Must be Civ 6. I definitely want a campus in my capital. I will pop one there. But I'm going to produce a little bit more cavalry just to keep this ticking over. So we'll go Cuirassier. Keep these things ticking, you know? Then we can start repairing with our builders. Probably going to put lumber mills in here later. Honestly, these privateers seem pretty crap. I have gotten good return on investment. Like, this was just a misclick. Well, he's dead. At least he'll tank a city shot for me, at least. You know? Always look on the bright side of death. Doo-doo. Trade routes galore. Beautiful. We're hitting serious trade route capacities here. We're over 1,000 gold per turn. Somehow after buying 5 trade routes, you still have 5 slots. Yeah, I got room for 2 more. I think I'll pop them in the capital. Oh yeah, I can buy districts. Never mind. I guess I'm buying... Oh, I'm supposed to be using Reina to buy districts. I completely forgot my entire strategy. Okay. The war distracted me. All right, let's grab Reina and reassign her over to Hopium, where we should be able to buy 2 districts in there in the next few turns. Dead as expected. However, She's angry. Well, listen, she declared war on me twice. I feel like I have a right to take all of her land. All of it. Not like a little bit of it, all of it. Kabam, klabam, pillage, klablam. We're doing okay. We have another battleship. Join the fray. Yoink. Join him. We need another battleship. I would like to have, I think three battleship armadas should be enough. Let's purchase the library, purchase the university. We're up to 230 science already, and we're only just getting started here. Do I want to do a trader? Campus, harbor, commercial hub. Thing I'm missing is Acropolis. City grows in 5 thirds. Build me a builder. By the time you finish, you will be grown. Connoisseur, time to pick up researcher. Probably should have had researcher a long time ago. Probably time I stick Pingala in a city with real growth potential, like my capital. Temporary loss in yields, but will be a long-term boost in yields. Boost and makes me feel good. Some delicious harbors over here I could pillage. Losing units is understandable. Renew mission for diplomatic visibility. Continue to obliterate her cities. They're a little bit stronger than I remember. These ones probably have like actual walls. Or did she get modern defenses? She has modern defenses now, so she'll be a little bit harder to kill. Let's get ourselves an ironclad. An ironclad and 3 battleships should be able to take this entire empire. I mean, if I wanted to, I could also go for airplanes, but I'm not that kind of a psychopath this game. Djibouti! Get me an Acropolis. How can you not pillage? This is my own land. Of course you can't pillage. It's your own land. All right. Boom. Rolling shutter. Rolling barrage. Did they declare war on you? Yeah, they declared war on me. Which is why we are killing them. With grace. We're killing them with grace. I believe in killing them. It's my favorite thing to do. That's what chat is like 80% of the time. Kill them, potato. They deserve it. I'm like, okay, guys. You guys need to chill out a little bit. Ironclad. Okay, so she's panicking. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know how to defend this. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't know how to defend it either. You just start killing units. Now that's damage right there. That's damage. Look, it's my city. Thanks. How's our grievances? I think I could take one more city without a loyalty issue. Campus. +4 adjacency campus. We need to start ramping the science. That's the thing that we need to do here. Trade with Taruga. Continue to trade with Cahokia. Big money. Big stacks. That's what we're looking for. Combine for that extra +7 combat strength. +7 combat strength is quite big. Not as big as +10, but... One more turtle to Reina. Does the AI Dido ever switch their capital? I have no idea. I haven't seen it. I don't know. I haven't not seen it either, though. Like, I've never tested it. So Reina is now established in Hopium. Let's come into the city of Hopium, and we will immediately buy the commercial hub and immediately buy the campus, like so. Then we'll also immediately buy... I don't know if we want a neighborhood. I mean, a neighborhood could be an exciting thing to do in here, but we're buying the library, the university... you can continue to work on a shipyard, do whatever you want with your time. I want to look for another high pop city. Hello, MacGyver. You are... Pharos is next. Let's go ahead and reassign Reina to Paros. Liang, you can just hang around until we're ready with Paros. So big swing in science. Big win for the marketplace of ideas. Start getting a little bit. How much damage do you guys do against these cities, actually? Not much compared to these. So that is... I want one more battleship, I think. And then that completes my navy with this ironclad. Yeah, perfect. Buy the university. Each university is worth 10 science, so they're huge for me to purchase. I need to take suzerainty of Anshan. I have 1 million envoys, so I can take suzerainty of Anshan. Yoink. They're mine. I'm going to take suzerainty of Hattusa as well. Yoink. They're mine. And I'll break suzerainty of Taruga. Yoink, they're mine. Ideally, I want to have suzerainty of as many city-states as possible for the extra culture, because I am playing Greece, specifically Pericles, Greece. I also want to look for getting free kills if I can. All the gold in the world really makes this easy. This is a really easy game for me. Making 1,000 gold per turn. I can ramp up my science as much as I want. I can ramp up any yield that I want. I can ramp it. Especially because I'm settling a whole bunch of new cities and I can move Reina around. Now, there is like a hard limit on how fast I can do it, but you know. Economic union, commercial hub, and harbor adjacency is huge. We would like to pick up 5-year plan. I don't think I need forced modernization. I don't think I need logistics anymore. I think I can take total war This leaves me with Republican legacy. It wouldn't be bad. I think I just want things that give me science now. I want things that give me science so that I can ramp and catch up. 5-year plan's not a bad one. Veterancy, public transport is a different kind of evil that I don't want to participate in. I'll grab Raj, I think. It's just like a little bit of gold, a little bit of science, just a little bit of snake venom gets you over the line. We also definitely want to be picking up capitalism here for market economy. Once we're done with fascism, we're just dipping into the fascism for a little while. All right, we will definitely return from fascism, I promise, Copium. We're definitely not going to conquer the whole world. Carthage is next, then Tyre, then... but we are now officially the top science in the game. So we have hit the ramp. Now, it's important to remember that despite the fact that we hit the ramp, we don't have rocketry researched, and several other AIs have rocketry researched. We're also still 11 technologies behind the leader, but we are now tech lead in science per turn, which means the engine has gone vertical, and we're now hitting the ramp. You know, the G-force that my empire experiences, like off the charts, the level of G-force, and also the G-force that the global CO2 emissions are going to feel now in a moment when I start building all these polluting buildings is going to be insane too. So we basically need to get the chemistry and then a beeline for flood barriers and spam out military engineers so we can burn down everyone else's empire. Let's go ahead and buy a shipyard in Megara just to keep you happy. So it's this useful city at some point. Yeah, look, we're just dipping into the fascism, guys. Okay, it's just a dip. It's just a small. It's a phase, Mom. Fascism is a phase, Mom. I swear, it's not just a phase. It is a phase. Listen, you've all heard of the fascist dip. Okay, everyone's doing it. It's all over social media. Be sure to inject the blue juice to experience all that G-force. Hell yeah. Get Valletta for flood barriers. Actually, no peace. Actually, a genius move. Valletta is a genius move. There's replaceable parts. This is an important technology. Not a lot of people talk about it. It gives you access to the food market, which is 6 food, which can support 3 population and let you grow really, really quickly. But the +1 food adjacency for every farm and pastures getting +1 production, that's like an important thing that people don't talk about replaceable parts for. What does Valletta do? Valletta allows you to purchase any building inside your city center for faith. We don't have a huge amount of faith, but using Valletta here in that instance seems like a pretty good move. So we'll probably take control of Valletta and then use our faith to purchase some of our flood barriers in maybe the harder to build them cities. So if we're looking at the city of Hollow Live, I would like to build an Acropolis. There's a +2 Acropolis right there. That's perfect. I will go for the stock exchange because it's like a stock exchange for me right now is 23 gold per turn, which is absurd amounts of gold. We're also, and like that's only, you know, we haven't even got level 3 with Muscat. You know, I mean, a research lab for me right now, I think is like at least 20 science. Yeah, it's over 20 science for a research lab for me. Not only city center, but also encampment. True, it also counts for encampments. All right, shoot the city. Make sure we're leveling so that we can sustain this war for a long time. Shoot the city. How about an ironclad attack? This is a pretty safe ironclad attack. Can we dip in and steal a builder, perhaps? We can. Yoink that builder, hit the city. Get this boy leveling. This ironclad will level very quickly because he's killing cities, and killing cities is one of the fastest ways you can level. I definitely need Reyna over here. Let's go ahead and place this. And place this. Speaking of Reyna, where is she? What's she doing? 3 turns until this city is done. Okay, I don't think I can make that work. Repair this tile. We'll use our cavalry. Cavalry strats. Get nice surrounds for extra damage. Boom, he's dead. Perfect. Yeah, Valletta are great if you're going any sort of anything remotely faith related and you have Valletta in the game, because you can just do really, really cool things. Specifically, I would say Valletta is fantastic for a tourism victory as Georgia. Would be like the most powerful situation for Valletta. It's like if you're playing a game and you're playing Georgia and you're going for tourism and a religion, Valletta is one of your best guys. We have the city of Carthage is mine. We're taking the city of Manchester too. We're keeping the city of Carthage. Loyalty in here is 53 turns until it flips. That's fine. I can take that. I don't know if I'm fully killing her. I think I may take one more city. What's my grievances looking? I think I can take one more city without destroying my international reputation. Valletta is like the only useful military city-state. You're way off. You're way off, dude. There are so many good military city-states. We'll buy the library. We'll buy the university. It's a 12 science university, by the way. Not sure I care about the food market in here. It would be kind of fun to grow the city. The city's already growing extremely quickly. I think getting a sewer here is fine. Do I even need fascism? Do I even need to dip into fascism if I'm killing her already? Are we fully killing Dido? Do I have to pull a vote on this? Are we just killing Dido and then consuming her lands and feasting upon her corpse? Do I want to deal with the diplomatic repercussions of that? Do we let Dido live? Do we take her capital? Is the only real question is, do we take her capital? Because we can stop here. We could stop here at this level of conquest and completely pivot into science and like win extremely quickly. She's never coming back to do anything to us ever again. Like the damage has been done. Take Tyre and leave like a Chad. I'll make a gentle attempt on Tyre, but if there's even like moderate resistance, I'm just not going to bother with it. I would rather focus on the science victory here. We now control all scientific city-states on the map, which is huge news. I'll give like 1 or 2 turns to the attempt on Tyre, and then we'll see where we stand. Tyre is strategically an excellent position. The problem is loyalty. There's a lot of big cities here that I don't want. If I take Tyre, I have to take Ainuk at least as well. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like, do I want to get that entangled in the affairs of Dido? You know what I'm saying? I don't think I do. I don't think I care that much. Stock exchange. If we're looking at the city of Spettercast, it's got a campus, a harbour, and a commercial hub. The only thing it's missing is the Acropolis. It actually has the Acropolis. This thing has all the districts that we care about. The only thing that we might add to this is like, what if I were to do this? We bought an archaeological museum and an archaeologist just to get a little bit of extra culture. Then we come up here, we get to work on a stock exchange for serious gold. So we're in a position to purchase more research labs. Market. Hell yeah. Monument granary. Boom, boom. Monument granary into market. Seems good for this city. You managed to build your library. I will purchase the library and hard build the university. Nah, you know what? I'm not going to hard build that university. I'll buy that university next turn. Purchasing. We're already up to 400 science per turn. So this is why I talk about the pivot. It's important to understand the basics of how to pivot your empire and how to build an empire that can pivot. Which is pretty much what I've been building. Like, is one of the greatest things about Harbour Commercial Hub with Elves of Minerva Opener. And you could, if you're playing without secret societies, you could just do it with harbours or commercial hubs. But harbours I find is best. But the harbour into shipyard, into pivot to another victory is like a super powerful way to play. And we're pivoting hard right now. And I'm feeling pretty good about that. So she's looking for peace. I don't want peace right now. Does anyone remember when Genghis Khan took Potato's cap? Actually, this game has been pretty action-packed. I don't think we take totalitarianism here. We maybe go totalitarianism for like a couple turns, just to get that little bit of +5 combat strength. But otherwise, I think we're done with war. Like we plug in third alternative, we plug in martial law. We don't really care too much about what we plug in here for now. We're sticking it to the man. Renew mission. Come up here. Yep, that's fine. We're working on that. And then I think we well, here's the thing. People are going to hate us. We're not going to have allies, so we're not going to get maximum value out of democracy, because that has to do with trade routes. Maybe we go communism here for the 10% science boost. What do you guys think? Communism? Democracy has those extra diplomatic policy slots, which are really, really good. +1 diplo policy slot. The old fascism into communism pivot. That sounds like we're an impressionable teen on Twitter. Here's the thing. Here's why we're going to go democracy, okay? Normally, communism is actually a really good choice for us. However, we are specifically playing Greece and the Elves of Minerva, which means we have a lot of control over city-states, because as Greece and the Elves of Minerva, you get a ton of extra envoys, which means you're going to have a lot of trade routes, a lot of suzerainties, and a lot of power in that area. Democracy gives you +4 food and +4 production to both cities if you are trading with a suzerain city, a city-state that you are suzerain of. Additionally, the 15% discount on gold purchases, quite nice. The other really important thing here is the second diplomatic policy card opens up some interesting moves, as well as the second wildcard policy slot compared to the communism thing. Now, if I didn't have city-states and I was playing an internal focus game where I wasn't doing international trade routes, I would definitely go for communism. But because of the specific game that we're in right now, I'm going to go into democracy and capitalism. And that's going to be how we pivot into the late game. Stamford Raffles. I might actually pass on that. I don't want to absorb city-states. I want city-states to exist, because the existence of a city-state is at a minimum, for me, There's 25% less war weariness. At a minimum, for me, the existence of a city-state is plus 5 culture per turn. 5% culture per turn. We'll take a Kublai Khan one. Let's go ahead and continue to smash this city. I think I will take this city and then sell it back to her. Like, I'll be like, hey, I took your city. What are you going to do about it? And then, like, do that kind of a thing and then give her city back and take these 3. We're going to buy the university in here. We need to save our gold to use in Paros. I think I'm going to go ahead and look and see if I have anything I can sell. There's 412 gold. Any buyers for coal? Any coal buyers? Yes, there are coal buyers. Any buyers of other wares? Oil buyers, thank you. With oil buyers, we can come into Paros and say, hey, you know what? There is a delightful campus right there. Doesn't have to be a good campus. It just has to exist, because a campus that exists can build a library and a university, which is worth nearly 20 science per turn for me. We'll be back next turn to continue purchasing. Just make peace and let's go to the moon. I'm not ready for peace just yet. I'm almost there. We're almost there. Victory, sure. Aid request. I wonder how we're doing in the World's Fair. I hope I at least got silver. There's chemistry, so this is a huge turn for science now. I got gold in the World's Fair, so I got a diplomatic victory point. I'll get 100 great people points, etc., etc., etc. I would like to stay on top of these aid requests so nobody can get a stealthy diplomacy win behind my back. Something to consider as a possibility. Boom. The city of Tyre is officially dead. Next turn. Just kidding. Next turn. Actually, this war is great for us because we'll finally have Niter now that it's obsolete. So, really great war for me in terms of that. Let's continue to get great works. Kublai Khan. Not that it matters who exactly it's from. We have the gold now to come into Paros and buy the harbor. And then I would also like a commercial hub. So we'll do that next turn. It'll be 1400. We should have the gold for that. So we're looking good here. Our empire is developing at an extremely rapid rate. I should probably go through in every city that I'm allowed to or buy research labs. Oh, that's 20 science per turn. That's 20 science per turn. Boom. Kill. We kill Tyre. There's Phoenicia dead. Boom, boom, boom. Now we come in here to Dido and we say, hey, what's up, bro? I will give you back. I need to actually keep the city. Bro, you're posting cringe. I'll return Tyre if you give me all your goods. Okay, you won't give me luxuries. Give me your aluminum. Aluminium, thank you. I'll take 30. All your gold per turn. Yeah, all of it. All right, that's perfect. I'll keep 3 cities. I'll take all of her money. I'll return her capital. She would pigs. This is the limit. She won't give me the pigs. I could get all. You could take our entire economy, the entire nation's GDP, but you can't have our truffles. That's the limit. Okay, so I think that's a fair deal. We have pieced out. We now have secured ourselves an empire, and we're sitting pretty. And I tell you what, actually, I'm extremely good at magically changing my clothes halfway through the episode of a video of Civ 6. And we're actually sitting really pretty here. I think a lot of what we have to do is just extremely chill stuff, just come in here and buy a research lab. Now, I do want to make sure that I'm keeping abreast of the power situation, and I'm focusing on getting research labs in cities that are powered. I mean, realistically, the amount of power is only 5 science per turn, right? That's only 5 science per turn. But that's still, more efficient than not. If we're looking where we're going to build the research labs, they take quite a while to build, but we can almost buy a research lab per turn at this rate. So that's 20 science per turn in terms of velocity of my empire has right now. We're gaining 20 science per turn nearly. I need to think about delivering power to Ugarit, Djibouti, and St. George's. I think power delivery to here is going to be using offshore renewables, similarly over here in Ugarit and Galactica. Otherwise, we can work on that. Now, offshore renewable power doesn't appear until quite late into the game, actually, pretty deep into the tech tree. So I may as well go ahead and I'll just hard build my research lab in these cities. We're going to continue to focus on amassing as much gold as possible because that's supporting the empire pivot. Otherwise, I'm actually relatively happy with the status of our game. We can pretty much put all these units on sleep now. You know what we'll do? We'll real quick, we'll get open borders with Dido before she goes, and says, hey, you can't have units in my border. So in particular, we're looking for trade routes with city-states. So let's double check here. We can hit Valletta from here. Perfect. We also want to be picking up a few of those. Otherwise, I think it's time that we just chill out. We kick it back. We relax it out. And we look for places where we can steal gold, like London again. We're sending another spy over there. We do need to get more spies. That's something I should actually go ahead and queue up in my capital. I probably want to plug in Machiavellianism when I hit suffrage. So there's going to be like a little bit of government retooling here coming up so that I can hit some particular things. Manchester did flip and Sheffield is flipping. Not my favorite set of things. I definitely want to trade with Kabul. Do I have the money? I don't have the money for that tile, unfortunately. Yeah, so we're in a couple of turns from now, we're going to massively change how our government is ran, which is fine. Little democratic revolution. Now, we are winning the World's Fair, so that is a diplomatic victory point and 100 Great People points, as well as 2 civic boosts and 50 Diplo favor. So that should trigger this turn, I'm pretty sure. We got the Capis and Corolo Kredki. So rather than purchase... Well, you know what I could do? I could just slow build a library for a turn or two while I get my research labs up, because the gold return on a research lab is 20 town. Let me think. In terms of gold purchasing, if I wait a turn, I can actually just get all of them. So what we'll do is we'll just hard build the library for 2 turns, and then my gold will be worth more once I switch to democracy. You actually got your stock exchange, and you can do a research lab in that many turns. Now, the city of Edmonds is in quite good shape. I could probably get away with doing a neighborhood or a canal here. I wouldn't mind a neighborhood. I'll pop a canal right here, and then I'll probably pop a neighborhood right there. And then there should be like a pretty reasonable industrial zone there if we want it later. But mostly I'm just looking to throw down a couple of little pieces of infrastructure to keep that city busy. I could work scientific projects. Like that would probably be the objectively best thing that I could do. But I found myself in the recent times not quite caring as much as I used to about like rushing immediately for the victory screen, and kind of kicking back and enjoying my journey before destination. Radiant, you know what I'm saying? You gotta enjoy the trip. So CO2 levels are slowly raising, and we are rushing now for computers, so we shouldn't have any problem continuously building all those things that we need in order to prevent climate change from having consequences for us, because we are going to start burning more fuel. Remember, we are starting to build research labs, so the amount of fuel we're burning is rapidly increasing, which is, as a consequence, going to increase the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere, which is going to increase the rate of sea level rise, which is going to cause problems for us. So we need to get on top of that. We need to be ready. What is the canal doing for me? The canal is just a fun thing to build. It lets me connect my, areas, potentially trade routes that go through it. It doesn't do anything for me. So we're going to switch out of fascism now because we're planning to no longer be at war. Democracy is a really, really cool government form because it gives us extra food and production for our trade routes to our suzerain cities, and we get envoys from sending trade routes to city-states. So, this really incentivizes us in that direction. And a 15% discount on gold purchasing is quite nice. As well, there are a couple of really important cards that come with democracy government. So I'm going to completely wipe out my government here so we can start from scratch. New Deal is incredible. 18 amenities and 36 housing is like insane value, on par with Republican Legacy. So New Deal, Republican Legacy allows me to grow my empire really, really tall. I don't think I'm going to take Mercantile Legacy. That's only 41 gold. In terms of diplomatic policy cards, I feel like Machiavellianism now, when you're playing Elves of Minerva, really fits in. Sorry, if I could just show you New Deal right there because my webcam is over it. 18 amenities and 36 housing. Let's also have a think. We could potentially plug in colonial taxes here. I feel like Merchant Confederation is also quite good. A gunboat diplomacy, also incredibly powerful here if I want to just go all in on generating envoy points and not caring so much about what we get from those. Vissel Banking also really, really powerful, makes my international trade routes even better, and I think I will plug in Vissel Banking. That's another +2 food +2 production from trading with city-states, which is disgusting. That means I'm getting 6/6 food and production from trading with city-states, which is like a disgusting amount. Liberalism, if I wanted to go like full amenities, I could plug in liberalism as well. And then I have like between all 3 of these cards that I've just plugged in, it's 18 +14 +20 amenities. That's on the order of nearly 60 amenities. That's like 52 amenities in total, which is like an insane amount. If I really wanted to plug those in, I could. And I think that kind of like appeals to me a little bit. Colonial taxes is quite powerful here. It's 100 gold per turn. Triangular trade is almost 100 gold and 20 faith per turn. And I will want a little bit of faith. I can't remember why I want a little bit of faith, but there's probably a good reason I want to have just like this doubles my faith income, which opens up some opportunities for me, maybe a national park or two, and for even more amenities. I don't think free market. I definitely want the card that doubles the adjacency of my harbors and commercial hubs, because that's a ridiculous amount of gold and also just gives me actually quite a decent amount of production. I don't think public transport is quite strong enough to plug in just yet. So in terms of military policy, I have the option of military research. Levy en masse is just a good 1 point value card that like increases my gold income. I quite like that. I think focusing on gold income here isn't like the wrong move. I think if we focus on gold income, we might be able to like do some crazy insane stuff. So if I plug in colonial taxes and the Merchant Confederation, that'll increase my gold income by quite a lot in total. And then I've got like one card left that I could maybe plug in for utility, like extra science here, or gunboat diplomacy for the extra influence. Right now I'm cranking out 12 influence per turn. If I plugged in gunboat diplomacy, that would be up to 16 influence per turn, which is like a 33% increase at the rate that I get envoys, which means I would be getting like an envoy every very quickly. The reason I want extra faith is because you can buy the flood walls with faith, which kind of actually tilts me now in the direction of Raj instead, because it's an extra 10 faith per turn. So I'm going to plug in Raj. So I'm feeling very, very good about this government. To quickly recap, Levy en masse, we're mostly focusing on gold, amenities, housing, and faith. And I know that sounds kind of weird in a science game that we would focus on all those things, but trust me, just watch my yields up here in the top. They're going to explode. 360, 250, 1900, 250, 360, 250, 16, 950. Okay, watch them. Boom, 442, 330, 343, 48, and then 1600. That is some serious yields popping right there, which is pretty damn good. That's very nice. So now we just have like insane gold potential here, right? We can buy buildings extremely cheaply and efficiently. Like I can buy a research lab every single turn. Just to put that in perspective, by the way, is I can buy a research lab every single turn. I'm already up to 500 science per turn. My empire is ridiculous. And I can't be stopped. I have too much gold. No, I did have, what's her name in here? Yeah, I need to like buy some districts in here. But the research labs are just too important for me to be spending my gold on anything else just in the short term. But yeah, I think our main goal here is to go for a science victory. I think going for anything other than a science victory here, when we have this many scientific city-states under our control that directly contribute to a win condition here, is just a mistake. Like that, like having 4 scientific city-states in our game that we could make friends with and get sovereignty of pretty much decided the direction we're going to go. I actually kind of want to... if I go city centers here, the potential to be able to not have to faith purchase some of my things would be quite nice. I'll go ahead and pop myself twice for that one. And I'll vote for myself to see if I can win the diplomatic victory points. Kind of an interesting one. We got our library in Colorado Kredki. I'll buy the university for 850 gold. And then we will go ahead and begin work on an archaeological museum just so we can keep ramping up our culture as well. We grabbed ourselves a gilded vault over in MacGyver. Let's go ahead and place the campus and slowly get to work on that one. 400 gold in the bank. Anything I can sell to the AI actually is probably like something I should do. Oh yeah, look at that. 800 gold for selling to the AI. How do you guys want to buy my strategics? Looks like a lot of people want my oil and potentially coal. So 1,000 gold from Victoria, I'll take it. And 200 from you. So I'm just trying to sell off whatever we have and then buy a couple of luxury resources. So we got another 2,000 gold in the bank, which allows me to switch over here to Pharos. And I think we want to get that commercial hub going. And then this city is basically Chuchin, right? It's exactly where we want it to be. So I'll just grab myself a library and a university in here. They're cost effective. I think I wait one turn and then harvest to get the library and then immediately improve the coal. So we'll see how we do there. But yeah, our empire is absolutely popping off here, boys. The modern era ends in 8 turns, and we just started getting our stock exchanges in. I could use like an extra 100 gold if I could maybe snag it from somewhere. Should be able to just grab myself another research lab. So there is another research lab. Our science now is insane BT dubs. It is ridiculous. Campus Harbor Commercial Hub, fully built in here. If we're looking at this city in terms of its growth potential, it's got a little bit of farms. It's got a really good food surplus, so it's growing incredibly rapidly. I'm a little bit skeptical about this commercial hub. I think I do want at least one more builder in here, although we don't have builder card plugged in. So we do want to be very conservative about the number of builders that we get here. If we do want to do a lot of builders, we're going to want to make sure that we plug in that builder card. We can get a Ferris wheel over here in Megara. That's pretty good. A little bit of culture, a little bit of amenities. Help out my empire. By the way, basically, like, the amount of amenities that I'm generating right now is still not enough for my empire. Just to put that in perspective, all of these amenities that I'm getting from my government, which is like 20 from here, 15 from here, 20 from here, that's just enough to make sure that every single one of my cities is at 0 or 1 amenity. So like when you have an empire of this like girth and size, you need a lot of amenities to keep it happy. So we're taking a look at the city of Ugarit. The one thing that I'm noticing about this city is that it does not have a harbor, it does not have a commercial hub, and it doesn't have a campus. It also doesn't have a lot of growth. So we're going to go ahead and emphasize growth here in this city. We're going to go ahead and take a couple of these tiles to give it the growth potential that it needs. Just a little bit of growth potential to get it off the ground. We'll also focus on production so that this has worked. And we will slowly, I don't think we can slowly work on a food market. So what we'll do is we'll slowly build a sewer. And by the time the city's finished a sewer, it might have grown to the point where we just pop down a food market and then it's going to go somewhere. But this city just needs to grow right now because it needs to place districts that actually change the game. The campus has been finished in Manchester. We placed the library, we chopped the library, boom. And then we can go ahead and grab a granary monument in this city as well. And we'll be able to improve that coal. Very happy. Every turn that goes by, I just get another research lab and it makes me feel happy. I kind of tempted to go for a Dark Age here, although it might be a little bit scary in terms of loyalty and some of my forward empire. The Promised Land thumbnail is hilarious. Yeah, I'm really proud of that one. Like, the chat helped me out with that one. So now we have access to capitalism, which gives us access to market economy. Ooh, hello. I'm sorry, Raj, you're done. The Raj Royale is over. We're plugging in market economy. That's 38 science and 38 culture. You're not going to get much, like, you're not going to get a card that gets that kind of value in your games. God, colonial taxes is now ridiculous. What the hell do I plug out? What do I plug out? Jesus Christ. I think I have to just keep my government the way that it is. The only thing that might be worth plugging out is New Deal. I'd love to plug in the builder card. That's the thing that I would love to plug in. If I could get the builder card, I'd be very happy with that. But what do I replace? I can't afford to replace anything. My economy is just a little bit too fragile at the moment. We're not going to go for class struggle. We could use science foundations. We're going to have to plug that card in order to really get some of these late game scientists. We're in the atomic era for scientists, which is here, which is when we need to start doing that. So we basically have to go for the nuclear program. We have conservation. I think we go for science foundations in the nuclear program. We might pick up ski resorts just for amenities because they give you +1 amenity in the city that you build the ski resorts. The extra spy from Cold War, I guess, is worth it. And we want to look for International Space Agency over here from globalizations. That's kind of the thing that we're rushing. If we get that, if we get the ISS card, I think we just auto win the game. Mary Catherine Goddard isn't a terrible, great merchant to grab for a war kind of focused game. And a free great artist is also just like a reasonable thing to grab. We're looking for gold steals. So we want to have commercial hubs locked in and we want to look for a new person to steal from. Ideally, I would say 1,000 gold per steal is like about like a really, really good one. So we can steal 1,000 gold every steal from Birmingham. So we'll send them over there. We've got another spy. Let's get more spies. We need to start thinking about where my spaceport is going. Mary Catherine Goddard, you can get popped in there. I'll pop one use of you in there. Angelica Kaufman. I don't know. Do I need sewers here? I mean, these cities are kind of working along just fine. Probably want to start focusing science in cities that go for things. How about... Actually, you know what? Let's get another canal. Let's get a fun canal. Again, not every decision I have to make, I make in this game has to be like 100% optimized in order for me to win the game. Like it's, you are allowed to make some decisions primarily for the purpose of having fun. That is a thing that you're allowed to do, and I think that's something people need to like not shy away from. I think the overly pursuit of like ridiculous challenges and stuff like that might actually take away from your fun. You might ruin the game for yourself if you're not sitting back every now and again and just doing weird shit like lining up 9 settlers to go through the Bermuda Triangle. You know what I mean? All right, thank you, Kublai. Don't forget to use the governor to buy districts. Right now, I'm a little bit focused on buying research labs. I don't remember what I was saying because my brain like deactivated halfway through the sentence, which is just a thing that happens sometimes in life. And you have to just kind of roll with the punches and accept that you did it. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves the research lab for 20 science. We're up to 600 science per turn. Now, I believe on turn 190, we were on 100 science. So in the course of what, like 40 turns, 50 turns, we've sextupled our science per turn, which is, you know, quite insane. Let's build a seaside resort for a little bit of extra era score. You get 2 era score for building that for the first time. We'll start laying out some forests so that we can put lumber mills on them. We've got no trade routes with city-states. Let's look for really good gold. Well, I mean, if we've got no trade for city-states, we may as well just throw this back to the capital. What is my capital even called? Kokomo? Nuclear program, we have access to science foundations. This is going to give us +2 great scientist points per turn for every university that we have. So that's +2 great scientist points per city, as well as +4 great scientist points per turn for every research lab we have, which is 6 in total per city. So like I'll go through and talk about these numbers a little bit, but what we're going to do is basically immediately plug in science foundations, and we're going to have to make a sacrifice here on one of these bottom cards. And I think the card that I'm making a sacrifice on is Merchant Confederation. It's incredible, but it's got to go. So let me just talk about now, like if we look at the city of, say, Kolorokredki here, right? We'll talk about the city for a moment. We have a campus, which innately gives us 1 great scientist point. We have a library, which gives us 1 great scientist point. We have a university, which gives us 1 great scientist point. And we have a research lab, which gives us 1 great scientist point. So we have in total 4 great scientist points per turn from this city. And then you add the extra 2 and the extra 4 from the research lab and university using the Science Foundations card. And now we're getting 10 great scientist points per turn per city that has a fully built campus. That's over double. It's an insane amount. It's an insane amount of extra great people points. It really, really is. It's hard. I actually don't know if I can undersell it, just how powerful that is to get that many extra great people points. It really, really is a game changer. And just keep that in your mind. No city-states in range of the capital either. I may as well just, you know what? You over here, Edmonds, you can have some trade routes. So now the amount of great scientist points per turn that I'm producing, I think it was 43 last turn. It's computers, very nice. So we have access to flood barriers, which is really, really cool, as well as drones and 25% extra tourism and an extra spy. We went from 43 great scientist points per turn to 87. 87 is an insane amount. And that number is going to keep growing. It's about time that we started building our spaceport. And I think, am I going to hard build my spaceport or am I going to build my spaceport? And then the other question I have to ask is here, where am I building my spaceport? When will you wear wigs? Will you wear wigs, right? And I think it's got to be in my capital. And if it's going to be in my capital, it's got to be beside my diplomatic quarter, because the diplomatic quarter makes your districts more defensible. And if it's going to be there in my capital, then I will go ahead and grab Pingala, and I will reassign Pingala to a different city. Ideally something in the 14 to 15 population range. St. George's is looking like a good target here. So we'll send Pingala to St. George's. We'll grab Reina here and pop her into the capital. And then we're going to start saving gold so we can purchase the spaceport. This is just a great way to be able to skip the actual construction phase of the spaceport. And theoretically, if we can get suzerainty of Valletta, maybe through, I don't know. Is there any text down here that give envoys? Pick up cultural heritage, and we can. Yeah, maybe if we can pick up suzerainty of Valletta, we can start purchasing flood barriers. I'll build them. If they're only like 2 turns in some cities, I'll hard build them. Anything that's a little bit more, I'll slow build. We could massively increase our gold from this city by picking up a seaport. It's about 14 gold per turn, plus an extra 2 gold per coastal tile. So that's probably in the order of 20 gold per turn here. Really, really quite powerful. Yeah, why not? We will. We'll pick up the harbor. I'm a big fan of seaports personally. Now, that unfortunately does mean that some of my cities are going to have to kind of take a backseat. Let's go ahead and put you back at Paros. Oh god, I don't remember where Paros is in the list. There it is. Oh yeah, I still have like a city to rename. I actually some of these cities might have got renamed and then lost in a reload. So hey, you know, that's life. Sometimes your name gets squandered in a reload. Let's go ahead and look for city-states to trade with. I would really like to trade with Valletta, actually. Where is Valletta? Valletta is over here, and you can't reach Valletta. Maybe Cabbagelandia can. If Cabbagelandia could reach Valletta, that would make me super happy. I'm going to go ahead and just have this spy work exclusively by counter-spying on the diplomatic quarter for the rest of the game to protect my spaceport and my commercial hub. I have like an absurd number of trade routes available. So that's something I need to be spending production on. Actually, I'll tell you what, you make me a trade route. We can also grab ourselves another admiral. This is a free battleship admiral. Not bad. I'll go ahead and just put him to sleep because I don't actually want another free admiral. We'll go ahead and start building more traders. We're filling out our trader limits. You can't reach Valletta for some reason. The harbor. Wow, really? The harbor? That is, wait. If I can reach, that's not right, in my opinion. Count the tiles, okay? If I can reach Cuenca, I should be able to reach Valletta, okay? 1, 2, 1, 2. There's something fishy going on here. I don't like it. I am trading with Valletta. It is possible to trade with them. That's very weird. Let's look for gold. I'll trade with Bogota for 6 food, 7 production. I'll probably start doing that from my capital. So now it's critically important that I maintain a military alliance or some kind of alliance with Gran Colombia for the rest of the game to be able to concentrate gold and production into my capital. All trade routes. My capital is going to be essentially become like a black hole vortex of traders so that we can get a ridiculous amount of production and food in it. All roads lead to Kokomo, essentially, is how we're going to be playing things. Go build a mountain pass next to Valletta. You know what? I'm not suzerain, though. That's the problem. The problem is I need to be suzerain to build in their lands. However, I do like the way that you think, and so I'm going to go ahead and get myself a military engineer and send it over there so we can do that and see if that changes things. We can get a library in MacGyver. That's perfect. Go ahead and get that library. And we can build a market here. Focus on the Gilded Vault. Otherwise, just build basic infrastructure like mines and stuff like that. No city-state routes is fine. We want to look for gold and then scroll down to where we actually get our allies. We could probably just do Gran Colombia trade routes and then focus on gold. So like Bogota here is 28 gold plus a huge amount of food and production. You can get open borders with Valletta with policy card. I think I have. The problem isn't open borders. The problem is in order to build things in the AI's lands, I'm pretty sure you have to be suzerain of them. There's the spaceport unlocked. However, I don't quite have the gold, nor is Reina in position yet. I'll have to wait a couple of turns until she can do it. But let's go ahead and get to work on moon landing and the Mars colony. Our goal here should be to one turn as many techs as possible. It's not necessarily always possible, but it might be possible. We also would like to pick up the Royal Society, so we'll get to work on that. We have a trader coming. This one's getting teleported to the capital. We want to just accelerate the capital more and more. Again, in terms of velocity, we want the capital to skyrocket. And so that's going to involve things. So in terms of flood barriers here, I'm going to have to send... It's fine, just get to work on that. So cheap flood barriers. So one turn until you can actually start your harbor. So I'll have to try and remember that. I wish there was a way. I wish there was like a legal way in the game to like save production in a city. Just be like, hey, do something else for like X turns. I wish I could set like a timer where the city was just like, hey, do whatever you want for 4 turns and then come talk to me. Or I could like right click the population of the city and be like, talk to me when you grow. Because I don't actually want to build this building. I just want the you must build something thing to go away. You completed your civilization's first canal. That's worth 2 era score. We just got steel as well as artillery. Perfect. We're looking for a reasonable harbor here. +4 seems okay. We'll pop you in there. We got a normal age. There's a couple of heroics and golden ages. I think we're going to go ahead and take Heartbeat of Steam. This seems like the easiest one for me to get era score because it's pretty much any building after the industrial era, which includes things like seaports that we're building, research labs that we're building. We will build a few food markets. We built some stock exchanges and we'll be building more. Probably not many factories, but there's a lot of buildings up on this end of the tech tree that we'll get era score for. So we're almost guaranteed a golden age next era. Although who knows if the game will even reach the next era? That's the real question. And speaking of a new era, it's probably time for a new episode. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.